Wait a minute. You won't believe what happened with Scrappy on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The celebrity lost everything, and guess what? He lost everything as a result. Due to the zero tolerance policy, the producer immediately ejected Khaotic from the show after a heated debate with him went too far. The true question, though, is if this was a genuine incident or perhaps another bizarre episode from a reality program. Let's all discover what truly transpired.
I'll be watching Cubs, I'll be like, oh.
Okay, so wait.
You know what your problem is? I ain't got no problem.
For years, fans watched Lil Scrappy's turbulent journey unfold on TV, with his ups and downs with his family relationships and job. However, nothing could have predicted the day when Scrappy's own actions would trigger this fall from grace. Scrappy has long been a staple of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, known for his fierce temper and loyalty to his circle. It all began with an especially contentious dispute with a disorganized cast member who was known for his bold demeanor and tendency to stir chaos. Another cast member, Khaotic, has never held back when voicing his opinions, but when a little argument escalated into a full-fledged altercation, things went totally wrong. Insults were exchanged, words were exchanged, and the dispute quickly escalated into a full-fledged fight. Scrappy, who was known for having a short fuse, soon lost it. Scrappy's sudden outpouring of rage was not simply confrontational but downright hazardous, promising catastrophe. His harsh comments and menacing tone made no room for the camera's inaccuracies as everyone froze in disbelief that this wasn't another camera fight. Tension rose. Even the turbulent worlds of hip-hop and love have their limits. Despite the fact that reality TV thrives on drama, the producers were shocked by what they witnessed and were forced to take action after Scrappy had gone too far. Scrappy's actions swiftly sealed his doom when their zero-tolerance policy for violence and threats went into force, leaving one of the most well-known French celebrities without a job. After carefully considering the effects on the show's reputation, as well as the safety of its cast and staff, the decision was reached. Fans had differing opinions when the news was announced. Some were upset with Scrappy for losing his anger. Scrappy's entire career was at stake. He had been a part of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since its beginning. His music, personal life, and complicated family relationships had all been showcased on the platform, which was now in jeopardy because of one careless act. The dismissal taught Scrappy a hard lesson about the price of unchecked anger, which went beyond simply losing screen time. Recognizing the truth of his conduct, Scrappy said nothing in the days following his discharge. Although he had always presented himself as confident in public, his actions behind closed doors were clearly flawed. He had jeopardized his career in addition to harming his reputation. A strong overreaction was the term used by others to describe the show's hasty actions. Although it was difficult to accept, the lesson was clear. The same ferocious fury that had once driven his success was now preventing him from achieving his goals and costing him his place on Love and Hip Hop. Despite the ongoing tension between them, the concert went on as usual, seemingly unmoved by the drama. For the first time in years, Scrappy was not the center of attention. Atlanta was the turning point that resulted from remorse and rage.
I probably went too hard or something, took something the wrong way or something like that, you know. So I want to say, I'm sorry to Khaotic. We're getting somewhere. We're not. But not. Because I can give a. So let me tell you something. When a motherfucker over me and he feel like I'm not a good person, I feel the same way he is. So we on the same page.
No, but he does not feel that.
He just said it. He said, hey, if you feel like I'm not a good person in your life, then you need to stay like that.
You said me, girl.
And we don't stand on it.
No.
Let's stand on it.
No.
We don't stand on it.
No, he said not. Stop. He did not say that.
What I said was, if you feel like I'm a bad person to you, then
It's not about that right now. This is about you. How do you feel about him?
I never said I had a problem with him.
No, this what he do. He say something crazy, and he be like, oh, I ain't got no beef, I ain't got no love.
Khaotic always trying to play a victim. He'll start, then he won't be like, I don't want no beef, man. If you got an issue, stand on it. If not, sit down and shut the up, bro. At the end of the day, like I said, bro, it don't even really matter.
Still gonna try to goddamn, he want everybody to go,
oh my God.
No, because we're so grown, we're only making a assessment of our own thoughts here.
I be watching because I be like, oh.
Okay, so wait.
You know what your problem is? I ain't got no problem. I'll beat your ass. You had a million times to do it. Why you on TV? Man, you a clown. You got a problem with it. You a clown. Keep talking that boy.
It all began with an especially contentious dispute with the rowdy cast member who was notorious for his brazen demeanor and propensity to cause trouble. After Khaotic and Scrappy got into a heated argument about a trivial matter, things swiftly got out of hand. Despite the ups and downs in Scrappy's career and family connections, no one could have predicted the day when his own actions would bring him into disrepute. What started off as a simple disagreement escalated into a full-fledged altercation as words were traded and allegations were made. As the tension grew, the two guys swore at each other, but Scrappy's threats were the last straw. His remarks had a threatening weight that made it impossible for them to be misunderstood, and his tone turned lethal. Being notorious for having a short fuse, Scrappy was pushed to the limit. Another defense of the cameras. The producers and crew on the scene were taken aback to discover that what they had witnessed was not your typical reality TV drama. A boundary had been crossed, and Scrappy's actions during that outburst would ultimately guarantee this outcome. Something much more serious was involved. His predictions of anarchy were more than simply platitudes. They were a harbinger of a radical shift that would permanently affect his direction.
He the one who called me out my name, disrespecting me, talking gangster. I never talked gangster. I never threatened him. I don't play no victim. I just don't do all that fake gangster talking and all that. You can't let me talking gangster. First of all, if I say anything slick or say anything crazy out my mouth, I got the right to.
Behind the cameras, things happened quickly. The Love and Hip Hop franchise maintained a zero-tolerance attitude for threats and violence, but reality television thrived on chaos and drama. There were always limits, and Scrappy had gone over them with his violent reaction. The officials made the choice in a hurry. Scrappy, one of the show's most recognizable characters, was fired. It wasn't an immediate firing, but nevertheless. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had been a vital component of Scrappy's career from the show's inception. He had been able to display his music, his private life, and his complicated familial ties on the platform, but now everything was in jeopardy. Swift made the choice after carefully considering how it may affect the show's reputation and the cast and crew's safety. Fans were divided over a fleeting moment of vulnerability when the news was released. While some were dismayed by how quickly the program had acted, others were frustrated at Scrappy for getting frustrated and starting trouble. The thin line reality stars walk between amusement and personal repercussions was illustrated by this incident. In addition to ending Scrappy's television career, the dismissal served as a sobering reminder of the price of his rage and, in the days that followed, Scrappy kept quiet and stopped considering his actions. Although he had always exuded confidence and boldness in public, the reality of what had transpired began to weigh heavily behind the scenes. His career was in jeopardy because he had injured himself. Khaotic, meanwhile, continued to appear on the show despite the uproar, but the luring. The tension between him and Scrappy was unavoidable. The show went on without him, but for the first time in a long time, Scrappy was no longer the focus. The lesson was harsh but essential. His success was now hampered by the anger that had formerly shielded him. Not only was losing his place on Love and Hip Hop a blow to his career, but it also served as a wake-up call.